अंडमान निकोबार द्वीप समूह में वन्यजीव संरक्षण की दिशा में एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम के रूप में 71वीं वन्यजीव सप्ताह का भव्य समापन समारोह आयोजित किया गया। इस अवसर पर मुख्य अतिथि श्री संजय कुमार सिन्हा, IFS, PCCF, ANI एवं मुख्य वन्यजीव अधीक्षक ने उपस्थिति जन को संरक्षण के महत्व पर प्रकाश डाला। समारोह में वरिष्ठ अधिकारियों सहित विभिन्न कॉलेजों और स्कूलों के छात्रों ने भाग लिया, जो पर्यावरण जागरूकता का प्रतीक बना। समारोह में PCCF, ANI के अलावा अन्य वरिष्ठ अधिकारी भी उपस्थित थे, जिनमें श्री M राजकुमार, IFS, APCCF, श्री अनिल एडिपल्ली, IFS CCF डॉक्टर दिनेश कन्नन, IFS CCF तथा अन्य प्रभाग्य प्रभारियों और ACF शामिल थे। कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत पारंपरिक दीप प्रज्वलन से हुई, जो संरक्षण के प्रकाश को प्रतीकित करती थी। स्वागत भाषण श्री PK पॉल, IFS वन संरक्षक वन्यजीव द्वारा दिया गया, जिसमें उन्होंने सभी हितधारकों को सप्ताह की सफलता के लिए धन्यवाद दिया।
With immense pleasure and a deep sense of gratitude that I welcome you all to the valedictory function of the 71st Wildlife Week 2025. We are truly honored today to have among us Shri Sanjay Kumar Sinha, IFS, PCCF Andaman Nicobar Islands, PCCF Wildlife cum Chief Wildlife Warden, who has been instrumental in managing the forest, wildlife and environmental conservation in these islands. We welcome you, sir, and thank you for gracing this occasion with your presence. I also extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests, dignitaries, officials of the Forest Department, PRI members, researchers, teachers, students, and all wildlife enthusiasts who have contributed in various ways throughout this week. As we gather to celebrate the successful conclusion of the Wildlife Week here, it is my honor and privilege to stand before you today, reflecting on a week filled with learning, inspiration, passion, and a deepened appreciation to the extraordinary wildlife that surrounds us. This week-long celebration is not just a reminder of our rich natural heritage, but also an opportunity to reflect on our role as stewards of this incredible environment. The forthcoming programs will highlight the events conducted during this Wildlife Week. India is a biological hotspot, which means it is a home to a large variety of animals and plant species. India's flora and fauna are highly diversified and constitute more than 7% of the world's biodiversity. It also incredibly accounts for 7.4% of the world's fauna. This high biologically diversified country requires proper education and awareness to preserve this rich cover. Hence, the Indian government established an wildlife board which strives to spread awareness in order to preserve the wildlife. The Wildlife Day was conceptualized and brought into effect on the insistence and idea of Indian Board of Wildlife in the year 1952. Wildlife Day was first observed in 1955, but in 1957 it was renamed as Wildlife Week. The Wildlife Week is celebrated from the 2nd to 8th of October every year in India. This week aims at protecting and preserving India's flora and fauna with a long-term goal to safeguard the lives of the endangered and threatened species of animals. We must remember that our action towards animal reflect our humanity. I once again extend my heartfelt welcome and gratitude to our chief guest and all our esteemed guests, officers, colleagues who have come here for this valedictory function. I also welcome the participants of the competitions who have brought their expertise and insight to the forefront, and their contribution have not only educated but have also inspired us to take action in our own communities. I also extend a warm welcome to the parents, teachers, and students who are present in this valedictory function. In the end, I quote, "We don't own the planet Earth, we belong to it, and we must share it with our wildlife."
कार्यक्रम के दौरान एक आकर्षक पेंटिंग प्रदर्शनी का आयोजन किया गया, जिसमें प्रतिभागियों द्वारा वन्य जीव विषयों पर चित्रकारी प्रस्तुत की गई। डॉक्टर दिनेश कन्नन IFS CCF वन्यजीव द्वारा दिया गया।
Family members, officers and dignitaries from other departments, public representatives, students, parents, teachers, ladies and gentlemen. Warm greetings to every one of you on the occasion of 71st Wildlife Week celebration. Wildlife Week is celebrated annually to create awareness among the people about conservation of wildlife and the nature as a whole. This was conceptualized in 1952. From 56 onwards, we started celebrating a week-long celebration from 2nd October to 8th October. Every year, this Wildlife Week is being celebrated with a specific theme. And for this year, the theme is human-animal coexistence. Along with other parts of the country, in Andaman and Nicobar Islands also, we had a series of celebrations. The celebrations widespread from Diglipur to Campbell Bay. Events like rally, competitions, beach cleaning, bird watching, many more activities have been conducted in different parts of our islands. To name very few, I want to mention that Nukat Natak was conducted in Mayabandar division, and South Andaman division has developed an AI-enabled video about the illegal hunting and poaching in the forest area. Our forest staff, they are going inside the forest as well as far-flung islands also. Whenever they are moving, the communication is an important role for them. Taking a clue on communication, DCF Mill Division has conducted 2-day training for our forest staff on VHF and HF training. Deputy Director Chidia Tapu has conducted so many events, and she organized one program, that is the release of Andaman wild pig. The wild pigs are captively bred animals as a part of a conservation breeding of biological park. These wild pigs were released in the Jarawa Tribal Reserve by our PCCF sir on 3rd October 2025 to ensure the food security of the particularly vulnerable tribal group, that is Jarawas of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. I would like to appreciate DCF Wildlife and his team for managing many events in Sri Vijayapuram during this period. His work, that is meticulously he planned everything, and he took effort for each and every issue. Minute details also was discussed in detail, and so that he can come up with a program as a grand success what we are seeing today. His program started with the inauguration of Wildlife Week by our Honorable Chief Secretary Andaman Nicobar Islands, and the program is bike rally on 2nd October, followed by so many events. We reached to this valedictory function. I take this opportunity to thank him for conducting such a wonderful program. Because of him, the program organizing capability has been set as a mark for other officers who are following in the days to come. With these words, I once again urge every one of you to join hands for conservation of wildlife and the nature as a whole.
इसके अलावा एक रोचक स्किट का मंचन किया गया जो संरक्षण संदेशों को जीवंत रूप से पेश करता था।
नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, आदाब। मैं चांद नवाब स्वागत करता हूं आप सभी का आपके अपने न्यूज चैनल कल तक की। जैसा कि आप सभी यहां देख पा रहे हैं, लोग बहुत बड़ी तादाद में करीब के सपोर्ट में आए हैं। आइए इनसे जानते हैं कि इनकी क्या मांगे हैं। सर, आप बताइए।
मेरा नाम महेंद्र ठाकुर है। मैं एक सोशल एक्टिविस्ट हूँ। जैसे कि आप सभी जानते हैं, हमारे प्रिय मित्र करीम भाई जो कि इस दुनिया में अब नहीं है, हम सब उनके सपोर्ट में यहाँ आए हैं और हम फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट की अनदेखी और लापरवाही का हिसाब चाहते हैं।
जैसा कि आपने अभी सुना, लोगों में बहुत आग्रह से इस घटना को लेकर हम कुछ और लोगों से बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे। मैडम, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
ये पहली बार नहीं है जब ह्यूमन वाइल्ड लाइफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हुआ। इन जंगली जानवरों की वजह से हम इंसान बेमौत मारे जा रहे हैं। इस बार तो हम फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट को नहीं छोड़ेंगे। आज का दिन धरना है, रेंजर को घेरना है।
हम तो होना नहीं है उनसे, बस अपने अपने कमरों में झक मारते रहते हैं।
हम करीम के साथ हुई नाइंसाफी का बदला लेकर रहेंगे।
आज हम हिसाब करके रहेंगे। निकालो रेंजर को।
निकालो इसको, निकालो।
शांत हो जाइए सब शांत हो जाइए। एक मिनट। सर,
भाइयों और बहनों, मैं आप लोगों का दुख समझ सकता हूँ। जो हुआ वो बेहद दुखद था, लेकिन आपको क्या लगता है कि सिर्फ फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट ही इसका जिम्मेदार है?
क्यों नहीं? जंगल और जंगली जानवर तुम्हारी ही प्रॉपर्टी है ना, जिसे तुम नहीं तो और कौन संभालेगा?
देखिए, ये जंगल और जंगली जानवर हमारी प्रॉपर्टी नहीं है, हमारी जीवित विरासत है। पर्यावरण में इनकी योगदान के बिना हम मनुष्यों के जीवन का कोई अस्तित्व ही नहीं बचेगा।
और जहाँ तक बात रही करीब की, मैं बताता हूँ कि क्या क्या हुआ है।
तो जैसा कि आप सभी ने देखा, फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट अब अपनी गलतियों और नाकामियों का मटका आम लोगों पे ही फोड़ रहे हैं। आगे की जानकारी के लिए आप हमारे साथ बने रहे। कैमरामैन चांद नवाब के साथ चांद नवाब।
वन विभाग द्वारा आयोजित इस क्रोकोडाइल अवेयरनेस कैंप में आप सभी का स्वागत है। जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं कि बीते कुछ दिनों से हमारे आसपास के क्षेत्रों में मगरमच्छ देखे जाने की खबर आई है। वन विभाग ने इस विषय में आप सभी गांववासियों को जागरूक करने का संकल्प लिया है। हमारे इलाके में पाए जाने वाले मगरमच्छ 3 से 5 मीटर लंबा हो सकता है। हम इंसानों को कुछ सावधानियां बरतनी होगी, जिससे किसी भी जान माल के नुकसान से बचा जा सकता है। आसपास की खाड़ी व समंदर के परिसर में मछली एवं मांस का वेस्टेज ना फेंके, इससे मगरमच्छ आकर्षित होता है और हमारे साथ मगरमच्छ का सामना हो सकता है।
सर, तो फिर ये सारे कचरे हम कहाँ फेंकेंगे? आप तो कुछ भी बोलकर चले जाएंगे। इसका सॉल्यूशन भी तो बताइए।
ऐसी बात नहीं है मैडम, हमने आसपास के क्षेत्रों के सारे प्रधानों से बात कर ली है और वे सारे मान गए हैं कि वे हर घर से कचरे को इकट्ठा करवाकर उसका सही निपटान करवा देंगे। तो आप लोग निश्चिंत रहिए। अगली सूचना तक आप सभी से यह निवेदन किया जाता है कि मछली मारने या किसी और कार्य हेतु अपने आसपास के नाले में ना जाएं। मगरमच्छ की उपस्थिति का अगर ज्ञात हो तो तुरंत ही अपने रेंज अधिकारी या किसी फॉरेस्ट अफसर को सूचना दें। पूरा वन विभाग आप और मगरमच्छ दोनों की सुरक्षा के लिए तत्पर है।
अरे खाली बैठा था, सुना अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम में चाय बढ़ रही है तो चाय पीने आ गया मैं तो। क्या विपुल, ये फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट वालों ने फिर से नया बोर्ड लगा दिया?
हाँ यार नरेश, इस फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट से तो परेशान हो गए हैं। कितनी बार हम बोर्ड हटाते हैं या आके नया लगा देते हैं।
इनको लगता है कि बोर्ड लगाकर हमें पानी में जाने से रोक लेंगे।
आज तो इस बोर्ड को तोड़ ही देता हूँ ताकि दोबारा लगा ही ना पाए।
और ऋचा कैसी हो?
ठीक है भैया, आप बताइए।
मैं भी बढ़िया। चल जल्दी से कचरा फेंक कर निकल जाते हैं।
हाँ भैया चलिए।
अरे ये क्या कर रहे हैं आप लोग? ऐसे सड़े गले मछली मांस का कचरा आप समंदर में डालोगे तो उससे मगर आकर्षित होगा। आप लोग भी तो फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट के उस कैंप में आए थे, फिर भी ऐसे कचरा फेंक रहे हो।
मैडम, हम यहाँ कई महीनों से कचरा फेंक रहे हैं, हमने तो यहाँ कहीं मगर नहीं देखा।
कोई मगर वगर नहीं है, फॉरेस्ट वाले यहाँ अफवाह फैला रहे हैं।
अच्छा ठीक है, ध्यान रखिएगा।
आज मौसम बड़ा सुहाना है, लगता है बहुत सारी मछलियाँ पकड़ी जाएगी।
हाँ भाई, जाल और टॉर्च ले ले, आज पूरी रात निकलने वाली है।
भाई पर मैंने सुना है इस एरिया में मगर दिखा है, क्या यहाँ पानी में उतरना सही रहेगा?
क्या क्यों मजाक कर रहे हो भाई? ये फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट को कोई और काम नहीं है, बस मगर का नाम लेकर हमें डराते रहते हैं। तो चलो भाई निकलते हैं।
हाँ भाई चलो चलो चलो।
आप ही बताइए महेंद्र भाई, डिपार्टमेंट ने बोर्ड लगाया है, आपके गांव के लड़कों ने ही उसे तोड़ा। डिपार्टमेंट ने अवेयरनेस कैंपेन चलाया, आपके लोगों ने ही उसे नज़रअंदाज करके मगर के एरिया में नहाने के लिए गए। मछली एवं मांस का कचरा समंदर में डालते रहे। फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट हर समय हर जगह तो मौजूद नहीं रह सकता है।
आपकी सुरक्षा आपकी भी जिम्मेदारी है। जो हुआ वो एक्सीडेंट नहीं, वो नेग्लिजेंस की एक कड़ी है। मगरमच्छ हमारे घर में नहीं, हम उनके घर में घुसे जा रहे हैं। खाड़ी उनका घर है और वे यहाँ करोड़ों साल से रह रहे हैं। हमारी लापरवाही और गलतियों की वजह से बेचारे वो क्यों तकलीफ में जिए?
सही कहा आपने सर, हम गुस्से में अंधे हो गए। हमने सोचा सिर्फ डिपार्टमेंट की ही गलती है। हम माफ़ी चाहते हैं सर।
माफ़ी की नहीं, समझने की ज़रूरत है। करीम की याद हमेशा हमें ये सिखाएगी कि प्रकृति के साथ लापरवाही से नहीं, जिम्मेदारी से काम लेना चाहिए।
हमें ये खबर मिली है कि हमारे रखे गए पिंजरे में मगर फंस चुका है। आपकी सुरक्षा को ध्यान में रखते हुए हम उसे रिलोकेट कर रहे हैं। आप निश्चिंत रहिए।
सर, आपने हमारी आंखें खोल दी हैं। हम सब ये वादा करते हैं कि आज से हम कोई भी साइन बोर्ड को नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाएंगे और फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट के दिए गए निर्देशों का पालन करेंगे।
आज इस मगरमच्छ के रेस्क्यू करने आए सारे फॉरेस्ट ऑफिसर्स, वर्कर्स और उनका मनोबल बढ़ाने आए सारे गांव वासियों को तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूं। इसके साथ ही आप सभी को मगरमच्छ के बारे में कुछ फैक्ट्स बताता हूं। मगरमच्छ मृत और बीमार जानवरों को खाते हैं, जिससे जल प्रदूषण कम होता है और बीमारियां फैलने से रुकती है। मगरमच्छ की उपस्थिति से छोटे जीव, पक्षियाँ, मछलियाँ नियंत्रित रहती हैं। इनका अस्तित्व यह दर्शाता है कि उस क्षेत्र में नदियाँ, झीलें और वेटलैंड स्वस्थ हैं। इसीलिए हमें इन जीवों के साथ संतुलन बनाकर रहना होगा। बिना इनके क्षेत्र में दखल दिए इनको इनके नेचुरल हैबिटेट में रहने देना होगा। ये फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट अकेले नहीं कर पाए, इसमें पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट, पंचायत और आप जैसे आम लोगों की भागीदारी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
तो देखा आप सभी ने कि कैसे हम इंसान हमें विरासत में मिले वन्य जीवन का विनाश करने में लगे हुए हैं। मगरमच्छ इस धरती पर करोड़ों साल से है। हम आजकल इस धरती पे आए इंसान मगरमच्छ को उनके घर से बेघर करने पर तुले हुए हैं। आज हम इस मंच में फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट के उन गुमनाम नायकों को श्रद्धांजलि देना चाहते हैं, जिन्होंने हमारे वन एवं वन्य जीवन की रक्षा करते हुए अपने प्राणों की आहुति दी है। श्री सी कालिदास, वन दारोगा, श्री जेतिया कुजूर, माहौर, श्री मीर बरला, माहौर, श्री निरंजन जॉयदर, माहौर। इनके अलावा कई और वीर इस डिपार्टमेंट में रह चुके हैं जो इतिहास के पन्नों में कहीं गुम हो गए हैं। आज उनकी यादों की मोतियों को अपने हौसलों में पिरोकर हम सब एक नई ऊर्जा और विश्वास के साथ यहाँ से रुखसत हो रहे हैं। तो आइए हम सब मिलकर आज एक प्रण लेते हैं। जैसे हम करते हैं अपने जीवन की सुरक्षा, वैसे ही करेंगे हम जीवों की रक्षा। धन्यवाद।
वन्यजीव सप्ताह के उत्सव से संबंधित वीडियो फिल्में भी प्रदर्शित की गई, जो सप्ताह भर की गतिविधियों को जीवंत रूप से दर्शाती रही।
Enormous coral reefs support countless life forms underwater. Dugongs, 4 species of sea turtles, 15 dolphins, 59 sharks, over 1,300 mollusks, over 1,400 fish species, and around 200 species of reef-building corals. These numbers are counting on as new species are being discovered. Isolated from the mainland, many of these life forms have taken their unique evolutionary path and are endemics, found nowhere else in the world. But we know very little about these reefs. A comprehensive survey has long been overdue, and the baseline data urgently needs to be updated. Knowing them is the only way we can protect them. Protecting them can help solve larger problems like climate change. So the Department of Environment and Forest took the initiative. A long-term ecological monitoring program is being launched. 50 sites across the islands have been identified for systematic data collection over the next 10 years. The process of tracking coral health, recording species diversity and ecosystem dynamics started. The goal is to build a rich data set that would reveal how reefs respond to change. Training staff in underwater survey techniques took 4 long years. But the trained force is doing miracles. In the very first visit, the team discovered a manta cleaning station. These findings will soon guide evidence-based recommendations like designating safe anchor points for fishermen and determining appropriate areas for tourism. Informed decisions would help protect our reefs, while new findings would enrich natural history science. Knowledge that would ultimately shape the planet's future.
सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रमों में विविधता झलकी। बालिका वे नित्याश्री द्वारा भारतनाट्यम नृत्य की मनमोहक प्रस्तुति दी गई, जबकि टैगोर सरकारी कॉलेज के छात्रों ने एक अन्य नृत्य प्रदर्शन कर दर्शकों को मंत्रमुग्ध कर दिया। इसके अतिरिक्त निकोबारी लोक नृत्य की प्रस्तुति ने स्थानीय आदिवासी संस्कृति और पारिस्थितिकी संरक्षण के महत्व को रेखांकित किया।
बंगाल की खाड़ी के मध्य में अंडमान और निकोबार द्वीप समूह स्थित है। प्राकृतिक सौंदर्य और जैव विविधता का एक आश्रय स्थल। हरे भरे उष्णकटिबंधीय जंगलों से लेकर जीवन चट्टानों तक ये द्वीप अद्वितीय प्रजातियों का आश्रय स्थल है जो कहीं और नहीं पाई जाती। इनमें चित्तीदार हिरण और अंडमानी जंगली स्वर्द्वीपीय जीवन के नाजुक जाल में महत्वपूर्ण कड़ी बने हुए हैं।
फिर भी इस स्वर्ग के भीतर खतरे छिपे हैं। लालच से प्रेरित होकर बेईमान शिकारी जंगलों में गहरे जाल बिछाते हैं। हमारी प्राकृतिक विरासत के प्रतीक मासूम हिरण और जंगली सुअर इन क्रूर कृत्यों का शिकार हो जाते हैं। इनका मांस जो प्राचीन काल में अस्तित्व का प्रतीक था, अब बाजारों में अवैध रूप से बेचा जाता है।
हमारे जंगल जीवन से भरे हैं। हर जीव हमारे ग्रह के संतुलन के लिए जरूरी है। चित्तल, अंडमान वाइल्ड पिग, राज्य पशु दुगोंग और समुद्री कछुओं की कहानी हमें यह याद दिलाती है कि शिकार केवल प्रकृति के खिलाफ अपराध नहीं है, बल्कि हमारे भविष्य के खिलाफ भी है। वन्य जीव संरक्षण अधिनियम 1972 की धारा 9 के तहत संरक्षित प्रजातियों का शिकार अपराध है और धारा 51 के तहत कड़ी सजा का प्रावधान है। 3 से 7 वर्ष तक का कारावास और 5 लाख रुपए तक का जुर्माना। अभयारण्यों और राष्ट्रीय उद्यानों में दोहराए गए अपराधों पर और भी कठोर दंड दिया जाता है, जिसमें वाहन, हथियार और संपत्ति की जब्ती भी शामिल है। बार बार अपराध पर कड़ी सजा और जमानत नहीं। यदि हम अवैध मांस और समुद्री जीवों के उत्पाद खरीदना बंद कर दें तो उसकी मांग समाप्त हो जाएगी और अपराध भी रुक जाएगा। आइए हम सब कानून का सम्मान करें, वन्य जीवों और समुद्री जीवन की रक्षा करें और अंडमान व निकोबार द्वीपों को सुरक्षित रखें, क्योंकि जब हम वन्य जीवों की रक्षा करते हैं तो हम जीवन की रक्षा करते हैं।
Nicobar Islands Forest Department celebrated the 71st Wildlife Week from the 2nd to the 8th of October with great enthusiasm. Under the theme of conservation, awareness and community participation. Throughout the week, a series of events showcased the region's unique biodiversity, the dedication of the department and the strong involvement of the public. The inaugural day began with much anticipation at the Nature Park and Interpretation Centre in Port Blair. The venue came alive with vibrant displays, enthusiastic school children and officers of the Forest Department preparing to welcome the distinguished chief guest, Shri Chandra Bhushan Kumar, IAS, the Chief Secretary of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The chief guest was received with a formal guard of honour in presence of Shri Sanjay Kumar Sinha, Principal Chief Conservator of Forest, symbolizing the solemn commitment of the department towards protecting the island's fragile ecosystems. Immediately afterwards, he flagged off the tableau and bicycle rallied. The tableau, themed on endemic birds of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, was a moving spectacle that depicted the island's rich avian diversity. Alongside it, hundreds of school and college students on bicycles carried the message of wildlife conservation across the city, setting a tone of youthful energy and community spirit for the week. The chief guest then proceeded to inaugurate the restored Japanese bunker, a relic of World War II and a reminder of the island's layered history. This symbolic act underlined how natural heritage and historical heritage coexist side by side in the islands, both deserving equal preservation. The visit continued into the heart of the Nature Park's living exhibits. At the Butterfly Conservatory, the chief guest released live butterflies, a gesture that beautifully symbolized freedom, fragility, and the beauty of life. This was followed by a guided tour through the Arboretum, where a diverse collection of native tree species stood as a living library of the island's flora. The journey continued into the Orchidarium and Fernarium, which showcased the delicate and intricate plant diversity of the archipelago, drawing admiration from both visitors and dignitaries. A major highlight of the day was the inauguration of the country's first ever mushroom conservatory and rearing centre, housing an impressive 37 live species of mushrooms native to the Andamans. The conservatory is a pioneering initiative in India. For many visitors, this was the first time they'd witnessed the sheer diversity and ecological importance of fungi, often called the hidden kingdom of forests. The chief guest then visited the butterfly larva rearing house, where school children interacted with experts and observed the fascinating life cycle of butterflies from caterpillar to chrysalis. He also toured the aquatic section, showcasing freshwater and marine species, and the medicinal plants garden, where traditional knowledge meets modern science in explaining the healing value of plants. During the event, the department also presented its flagship program, Mission 1 Lakh, an ambitious and inspiring campaign to collect 1 lakh kilograms of marine litter from 100 beaches across the islands. The mission drew loud appreciation from the gathering, reflecting the urgent need for collective action against plastic and marine pollution. To mark the spirit of renewal, the Chief Secretary planted a sapling of Kata Fire, a symbolic gesture of hope and commitment to green growth. In his keynote address, he lauded the innovative initiatives of the Forest Department and urged citizens, especially the youth, to become guardians of the fragile ecosystems of the islands. The inaugural day thus blended history, science, conservation, and community participation into one seamless celebration, setting the perfect momentum for the rest of Wildlife Week. On the second day, a significant wildlife management initiative was undertaken. The PCCF and APCCF released 6 wild pigs at the Jarawa Tribal Reserve in the presence of the Director of Tribal Welfare. This release was carried out to strengthen food security for the Jarawa community, ensuring harmony between tribal sustenance and wildlife management. Day 3 focused on skill development for frontline staff. The YACCF Wildlife, Dr. Dinesh Kannan, IFS, inaugurated a crocodile handling training program. Forester trainees received hands-on training in safely managing crocodiles, an essential skill for human-wildlife conflict mitigation in the islands. The 4th day highlighted marine conservation efforts at the Mahatma Gandhi Marine National Park. The Commissioner Home Secretary, Shri Sachin Shinde, installed artificial coral reef structures designed in the shape of manta rays to restore marine habitats. He also felicitated scuba divers from Pondicherry University, ANET, Reef Watch, and other private diving groups for their extraordinary contribution to the underwater marine litter cleanup campaign called Reef Scrapper. This initiative reflects the department's commitment to protecting coral reefs and reducing marine pollution. Day 5 was marked by important inaugurations at the Manipur Parbat National Park. The Chief Conservator of Forest, Dr. Dinesh Kannan, IFS, inaugurated a tourist facilitation counter with drinking water and toilet facilities, ensuring comfort for visitors. She also unveiled a nature-themed entry gate featuring 15 endemic birds of the islands. The day continued with the inauguration of a new orchidarium designed to raise awareness among tourists about the region's rich floral diversity. The highlight was the opening of the Kosi, Andaman and Nicobar Endemic Bird Interpretation Center, a one-of-its-kind facility featuring 32 endemic bird species, including the Narcondam hornbill, Andaman teal, and Nicobar megapode. With interactive sound and light displays and immersive interpretation, visitors experience the sensation of walking inside a rainforest. The 6th day of Wildlife Week focused on infrastructure development for effective wildlife management. Shri Sanjay Kumar Sinha, IFS, Principal Chief Conservator of Forests, inaugurated the new DCF Wildlife Office and Range Office headquarters, built to strengthen field protection and enhance wildlife governance across the islands. The event began with a guard of honor by the on-training foresters, led by Miss Richa, forester, trainee, a proud moment reflecting the dedication and discipline of the department's young cadre. These new facilities will act as key operational hubs for conservation, improving coordination and support for field staff. The inauguration symbolized not just new infrastructure, but a renewed commitment of the Department of Environment and Forest towards sustainable wildlife management and ecological stewardship in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Another highlight of Wildlife Week, the VHF training for forester trainees and staff was inaugurated by Dr. Anil Kumar, IFS, Chief Conservator of Forests, Territorial. The training transformed field communication and coordination, equipping participants with vital skills to respond swiftly, protect wildlife, and ensure the safety and efficiency of forest operations. The Baratan, Middle Andaman, and South Andaman divisions each organized an awareness program on human-animal coexistence under their respective jurisdictions during Wildlife Week 2025. Together they carried a shared message that humans and animals are meant to coexist. Through awareness and understanding, villagers, students, and communities joined hands to protect what connects us all, life itself. Because when we live in harmony with nature, we secure the future for every living being. Also, various forest divisions organized beach cleaning drives, bringing communities together. These efforts not only kept the beaches pristine, but also inspired awareness and a sense of responsibility toward our fragile coastal ecosystems. Beneath the emerald canopies of the Andamans, participants immersed themselves in bird-watching sessions, discovering the island's rare and vibrant avian life. Each chirp, flutter, and soaring flight told a story of the wild, igniting wonder, curiosity, and a deep love for nature. Across the Andaman Islands, the spirit of Wildlife Week 2025 came alive through action as participants took to the roads and trails in bike rallies, cycle rallies, and walkathons. From winding forest paths to coastal roads, each step, each ride carried a single message to protect and preserve the wild treasures that make these islands unique. These rallies united people of all ages, moving with one purpose to celebrate nature and to pledge a future where humans and wildlife move forward together. The Baratan, South Andaman, and Diglipur divisions brought young minds and forest staff together through essay and quiz competitions. The drawing and painting competitions organized by the Baratan, South Andaman, Diglipur, Middle Andaman, and Little Andaman divisions transformed imagination into color and canvas. Children across the islands painted the beauty and fragility of wildlife with heartfelt creativity. Also at the Biological Park, Chidiatapu, school students took part in poster and stone painting competitions, blending art with awareness and inspiring action for conservation. At Little Andaman and the Biological Park, Chidiatapu, captivating wildlife documentaries and presentations brought the wonders of nature to life. The participants watched, learned, and reflected on the delicate bond between humans and the wild. Amid these inspiring visuals, the South Andaman Forest Division unveiled an AI-generated film on illegal wildlife poaching, released by Dr. Dinesh Kannan, IFS, CCF, Wildlife. A powerful reminder of the need to protect what cannot speak for itself. Various divisions united art and awareness through photography competitions and wildlife lecture. Through guided nature walks, participants explored the forests and mangroves of the Andamans, discovering the hidden wonders of flora and fauna. Every step sparked curiosity and connection, reminding us that every trail holds a story of life waiting to be cherished. The forests came alive as communities, and divisions joined hands in plantation drives, sowing saplings that promise greener forests and a thriving environment. Each tree planted became a symbol of hope, commitment, and the shared responsibility to nurture the natural heritage of the Andamans. A highlight of Wildlife Week, the Nukkad Nataks captivated audiences across the islands with powerful stories of wildlife and conservation. Through lively performances and engaging storytelling, these street plays turned awareness into a spectacle, inspiring communities to protect the forests, oceans, and creatures that share our world. A highlight of Wildlife Week, the snake handling sessions were organized across various forest divisions, giving trainees and staff a rare, hands-on encounter with the island's most intriguing reptiles. The Middle Andaman Division brought energy and teamwork to the forefront with chess and football tournaments during Wildlife Week. From strategic moves on the chessboard to thrilling goals on the field, these competitions celebrated skill, sportsmanship, and camaraderie among staff and participants alike.
मुख्य अतिथि श्री संजय कुमार सिन्हा द्वारा दिया गया, जिसमें उन्होंने नीतिगत अपडेट, सहयोगी पहलू और सतत प्रयासों पर जोर दिया।
Honored to stand before you today on this occasion of concluding session of 71st Wildlife Week celebration of 2025. This year, the theme of Wildlife Week celebration was human-wildlife coexistence, which emphasizes the need to build harmony between people and wildlife in a rapidly changing world. As human activities expand into natural wildlife habitats, the boundary between human and wildlife species becomes blurred, which often lead to conflict and loss of life on both the sides. Coexistence is not merely the absence of conflict, but the presence of understanding, respect, and responsibility towards wildlife. Coexistence is not merely a choice, but a necessity. Across the world, the impact of human activity on natural habitat is increasing. Therefore, there is growing need to strike a balance between both human and wildlife can thrive. This week showcased our commitment to this principle through various engaging activities, bicycle rallies, promoting eco-friendly and healthy transport, tableau displaying our rich bird species, drawing competitions, essay writing, and quizzes competition, showcasing powerful message and knowledge about wildlife and nature were organized during the last few days. These activities got the younger generation involved, helping them to learn about wildlife while also giving them a chance to showcase their love and care for environment. During this week, the department has installed some artificial coral and has done reef scrapping by collection of ghost nets and plastics at Grub Island. This week has been significant week for Forest Department as we inaugurated a series of new buildings and activities that mark another step towards our continuous journey towards forest and wildlife protection. During this week, we have inaugurated DCF Wildlife Office and Range Office of Wildlife. We have also inaugurated Mushroom Garden, Japanese bunker at NPIC, which will give a refreshing blend of experience and education. Tourist Facilitation Center, Orchidarium, and Endemic Bird Interpretation Center at Mahatma Gandhi National Park was inaugurated which is a significant step forward in promoting ecotourism, biodiversity education, and visitor engagement within the park. During the week, we also released 6 Andamanese wild boars, which was bred and raised in captivity in Chidiya Tapu. The release was aimed at increasing the natural population, which has become endangered. In a commendable operation conducted during Wildlife Week, the officers and officials of Mayabandar Forest Division have successfully apprehended a group of persons involved in illegal hunting and smuggling of deer meat. Nearly 14 kg of dried meat and related materials were seized, and 9 persons were arrested in the operation. The quick response and coordination and meticulous planning of the field staff highlight the department's commitment to protecting wildlife. This incident reminds us of constant threat being faced by wildlife from human beings. This incident justifies the theme human-wildlife coexistence and this coexistence of this year Wildlife Week. As we bring this celebration to close, I will reiterate that coexistence requires ongoing efforts, respect, and responsibility towards wildlife. We must continue to protect the forest, the seas, and the shores that are home to incredible different life that surrounds us. Lastly, I would like to express my sincere thanks to all those who made this week possible: the staff of Forest Department, the volunteers, students, teachers, participants, and our community at large, the press and media to have played their role in spreading the message of Wildlife Week. Thank you.
अंत में श्री संदीप डी बेहरा IFS DCF वन्यजीव ने धन्यवाद ज्ञापन प्रस्तुत कर समारोह का समापन किया।
At the outset, I express my deepest gratitude to our respected PCF sir for his constant guidance, encouragement, and visionary leadership that inspired us throughout the week. My sincere thanks to APCCF sir for his valuable support and motivation, for his dynamic guidance which played a pivotal role in the successful organization of all the events. A special word of appreciation goes to CCF Wildlife sir for his personal involvement, keen interest, and constant encouragement at every stage of the celebration. His active participation has been a source of great motivation for all of us. I also extend a warm thanks to CCF Territorial sir and CF Headquarters sir for their continued cooperation and valuable support and participation in all events. A special word of appreciation to CF Wildlife sir for his active involvement, supervision, and direction throughout the celebrations. A heartfelt note of thanks to all my fellow DCFs and DFOs across the islands for their teamwork, collaboration, and assistance to this division, which contributed immensely to the smooth conduct of the week-long celebrations. My gratitude also extends to all ACFs of the department for their dedication, enthusiasm, and commitment in supporting these initiatives. We are thankful to the media for their excellent coverage, which helped spread the message of wildlife conservation to wider audience. Our sincere thanks to the Tagore College for kindly providing this beautiful auditorium and extending all possible support for hosting today's valedictory function. A very special appreciation goes to the staffs of Wildlife Division whose tireless efforts, efficient arrangements, and behind-the-scene work ensured the smooth and successful execution of every event. And finally, my heartfelt thanks to all the participants, the students, teachers, and members of the public whose enthusiasm, creativity, and commitment brought life and meaning to the Wildlife Week celebrations.
इसके पूर्व सप्ताह भर चली प्रतियोगिताओं में उत्कृष्ट प्रदर्शन करने वाले अधिकारियों और छात्रों को पुरस्कार वितरित किए गए, जो उनकी रचनात्मकता और समर्पण को सम्मानित करता था।